topic I chose to talk about was the effect of rider experience and lameness in horses. They selected horses with different degrees of lameness, anywhere from a mild form of lameness to a more severe form, but they obviously didn't pick anything that was foundering or severely lame that it couldn't actually do the tasks that were asked of it. From the experiment, they figured out that riders do not affect the rider experience does not affect the lameness of horses, but that doesn't mean other factors cannot contribute to lameness in horses. And there are many different ways to define a lameness in a horse. The horses that they used, they had 13 different horses total. 6 of them were lame, so 6 of them had some kind of hoof or leg problem that caused them to walk abnormally or even be uncomfortable when standing, and 7 of them were sound, which means that they had no hoof or leg issues at all. They were perfectly healthy horses. 9 of them were mares, and 4 of them were geldings. There were a variety of breeds, such as Arabians, quarter horses, paint, thoroughbreds, and warm bloods used. And as far as I can tell from the experiment, the breed did not specifically matter. They just wanted a variety to test against the experience of the riders to see if that could change the factors. And the types of lameness. Lameness is defined as a manifestation of pain, mechanical restriction, causing alteration of gait or neuromuscular disease. The types of lameness that there was a left front limb, left hind limb, left front flexion, left hind flexion, and left front hoof lamenesses on the left side. And then there were also horses that had right front flexion problems, right hind flexion lameness, and right front hoof lamenesses. The tasks that they were asked to complete, there was 5 of them. The first task that they were asked to complete was to walk 30 meters and back from point A to point B, and then they had to repeat this task at a posting trot. The second task that they were asked to complete was walk in a rectangle clockwise and counterclockwise, and repeat at a posting trot, sitting trot, and extended posting trot. And the third task they were asked to complete was a 10-meter circle in a sitting trot, going clockwise and again counterclockwise. The fourth task that they were asked to complete was a loose figure 8 in a sitting trot, extended trot, and a canter. And the figure 8 extended to the whole arena. And then the fifth one that they were asked to complete was a counterclockwise circle using half the arena at a sitting trot, then repeat clockwise on the other half, so in a more tight form of a figure 8, and then they also had to do this task at a canter. Some of the causes of lameness in horses can be heavy work, so if you work them too hard, it can just cause like joint problems or flexion problems. It can even cause sometimes hoof problems if they just are worked too hard, too much. A heavier set rider. Line Grieve said, therefore, focal concentration of forces between riders induced by poorly fitting saddles is of greater concern with heavier riders and when ridden at higher forward velocity. Another issue is if the horse is overweight, that can obviously affect if they have lameness. Usually an overweight horse can cause laminitis, which can also turn into founder. So you definitely don't want to try to work, you want to work a horse that's overweight, but you don't want to work them too hard because that can cause more problems than what you wanted to cause than what was already there in the first place. So you definitely, when you're working a horse, you want to keep their body condition score in check, and whether or not the rider is a little heavier set if they're being ridden. Another problem could be if they have an injury that can obviously cause lameness. Lameness is injuries. So if they've in the past have hurt their leg or something, or say they stepped on a giant rock and had an abscess, that would obviously be an injury. Improperly holding the head with the reins. Line Grieve also said high head and neck carriage affect limb timing and load distribution, which can cause an unnatural gait in the horse and can cause them to impact too hard which can cause tenderness in certain spots and lameness on their hooves. So you definitely want to be careful with how you're holding the reins when you are working with them. And then also not properly fitted saddles can cause irritation and can cause the horse also to be off gait and can cause them to land harder on one leg than another, or can even cause other issues with the horses. In conclusion, rider experience may not influence whether or not a horse is lame or shows lameness, but there are other factors that can cause lameness in a horse that can be done by the riders, such as a heavier set rider, holding the reins improperly, an improperly fitted saddle, just an overweight horse that hasn't been ridden in a long time, and then you work them too hard. These are some of the main causes that can cause these problems. And then lameness in horses is more common than riders let on, but how they are treated after their lameness can determine if they can continue performing in their events. This is my Works Cited page.